Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, the only show where we break down America's biggest headlines, using the same analytical rigor your cousin Earl used when he tried to return a rotisserie chicken to Walmart because it looked at him funny. Today's news is wilder than a possum on Adderall, so buckle up, grab your Mountain Dew, and let's dive into the National Chaos Buffet that is December 23rd, 2025. Segment 1. The Great Transparency Throwdown. Congress versus the Redaction Rodeo. Look, when Congress said they wanted transparency, I don't think they meant show us 11,000 pages of Sharpie marks that look like my nephew tried to color inside the lines during a seizure. The Justice Department keeps releasing the Epstein investigation files in batches, like some kind of trauma-themed advent calendar. Open a window, boom, redaction. Open another, boom. A footnote with more redactions than actual letters. And Congress is mad. Real mad. Chuck Schumer is out here talking about contempt. Ro Khanna is practically waving a belt like an angry Southern dad yelling, "Boy, I said give me them papers!" And the DOJ is over here saying, "We redact because we care." Yeah, buddy. I redact stuff because I don't know how to spell it. The Justice Department also made sure to tell everybody that some of the wild accusations made against the president were untrue and sensationalist, which is funny because that's exactly how my hometown newspaper described me when I ran for class treasurer in 9th grade. But let's be real. When the DOJ becomes the White House's Instagram hype man, you know the line between justice and PR is thinner than my cousin Luke's hairline. Segment 2. The Golden Fleet, Navy ships so big they need their own ZIP code. The president announced the new Trump-class ships, also known as the Golden Fleet, and boy howdy, these things sound so dramatic. I'm surprised they don't come with theme songs. We're talking vessels supposedly 100 times more powerful than anything before, which means either these things are made of vibranium or someone in the Pentagon started measuring power using MAGA math. Traditionally, ships get named after states. You know, USS Wisconsin, USS North Carolina, USS stuff we all agree on. But now, USS Trump. USS Defiant. At this rate, we're 6 months away from the USS Get Over It and the USS Cry Harder. And then the State Department starts recalling career diplomats. Nearly 30 of them. They're getting yanked home like kids caught sneaking beer into a church lock-in. We are officially replacing the Foreign Service with politically loyal folks, which is exactly how you get an ambassador to France who thinks Bordeaux is a cheese. Segment 3. Offshore wind? More like offshore nope. The Department of the Interior paused all offshore wind farms because they might interfere with military radar. Now listen, as someone who once blamed poor visibility on a Dairy Queen sign reflecting off my windshield, I get it. But pausing the entire offshore wind industry is like burning down the barn because one chicken looked suspicious. Dominion's Coastal Virginia project? Paused. Massachusetts projects? Paused. Entire green energy sector? Paused harder than my cousin Ricky trying to subtract fractions. And you know this is bad when even redneck Uncle Bo, who runs his truck on dreams and diesel fumes, is out here saying, "Wait now, ain't wind free?" Segment 4. The Great Tariff BBQ. America tries cooking the global economy and burns its own fingers. GDP growth is up, inflation is up, tariffs are up, consumer confidence is down. Basically, the whole economy is doing the electric slide, but nobody knows which direction they're supposed to be sliding in. The effective tariff rate rocketed from 2.2% to 10.65%. And maybe as high as 16.8%, which is the strongest case I've seen yet for not letting anyone sign economic policy after midnight. Tariffs raised $124.5 billion, but apparently businesses used trade agreements like cheat codes to avoid even more. Canada and Mexico out here saying, "Duty-free, baby," like they're hosting Black Friday for geopolitics. The Fed keeps cutting rates to help jobs, but cutting rates when inflation's high is like adding hot sauce to a jalapeno. It don't cool anything down, buddy. Segment 5. The One Big Beautiful Bill. Tax cuts, tip cuts, snap cuts, haircuts. This bill is like a buffet. You get some stuff you want, some stuff you don't want, and at the end, everyone's digestive system suffers. Americans get tax cuts on overtime, on tips, on car loans. Seniors get deductions. Kids get Trump accounts, like Pokemon cards, but for retirement. But then, SNAP gets slashed like a Black Friday TV price tag. Medicaid funding gets twisted up like a pretzel. Student loans capped tighter than my Uncle Dale's camo pants after Thanksgiving dinner. It's the largest social program rollback in U.S. history, and Republicans are acting like it's Christmas morning, while Democrats act like someone ran over their emotional support cactus. And the budget deficit? Baby, that thing is growing faster than a tick on a hound dog. Segment 6. CBS, CECOT, and the case of the missing 60 minutes. CBS spiked an investigative piece on El Salvador's mega prison. Bari Weiss said the story wasn't ready, which is ironic because that's also what my mama told me before she threw me into kindergarten. Meanwhile, the reporter insisted it was reviewed, cleared, and ready to go. So either CBS can't keep track of its homework, or someone whispered, "Hey, remember that corporate merger you want approved?" And poof, story gone like my paycheck at Bass Pro Shop. Corporate influence in journalism? Say it ain't so. Next thing you know, the weather report will say, "Brought to you by Chevron. Today's forecast. Buy more gas." Segment 7. Venezuela blockade and the Greenland grab. America goes big or goes home. We've seized 2 Venezuelan tankers, and Republicans are arguing whether we should go full Call of Duty or just keep doing Traffic Cop Caribbean Edition. Meanwhile, Venezuela is sitting there like, "Can y'all chill for 1 minute?" And then, Greenland. The president wants it again. But this time he's sending a special envoy like a real estate agent with a passport. The administration says Greenland is strategic, which is true, but it also feels like someone just really wants bragging rights at the next G7. "Oh, you bought a yacht. Cute. I bought ice." Segment 8. Science, SCOTUS, and hackers from everywhere. GLP-1 drugs? Seniors stop taking them like they're detoxing from kale smoothies. Turns out muscle loss is a real thing, and if there's one thing seniors hate more than scams on Facebook, it's losing muscle mass they spent 70 years acquiring by opening jars and carrying grandbabies. A massive genetics study found schizophrenia and bipolar disorder share 70% of the same genetic signal, which means my uncle who thinks raccoons are stealing his tax returns might actually share DNA with my cousin who thinks he can talk to Wi-Fi. SCOTUS is debating National Guard deployments, birthright citizenship, and gerrymandering, which is basically the Supreme Court equivalent of your family arguing over who gets the good recliner at Christmas. Hackers stole $2 billion in crypto and ran ATM jackpot schemes like they were auditioning for Ocean's 14. And AI investment is so massive, we're basically building Skynet with better branding. In conclusion, America is shifting faster than a raccoon stealing pizza from a gas station dumpster. From congressional meltdowns to golden warships, from tariffs that hurt your wallet to Greenland on layaway, This country is in the middle of a full-blown identity crisis, wearing a red, white, and blue onesie. This has been poorly educated today in the news, reminding you, if the news sounds dumb, that's because it is. And if it sounds smart, we definitely didn't say it.